What is going on, YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So I have been just so crazy busy with life, and I've been so backed up with game reviews and then trying to get enough hours into the games to pop reviews out. I feel like all I do is game reviews and then my monthly Game Watch video, and I feel like that's all I have done. So today we are going to switch it up and talk about the 5 things that VR next generation needs to really, I guess, push it into Gen 2. Because I would say right now we're still in this weird spot where we're in Generation 1.5, where we've conquered a lot of the preliminary things from Generation 1, but we haven't really taken a full step to, like, really Generation 2 VR. So definitely kind of in that limbo space right now. We're going to talk about the 5 things, in my opinion, that could push us to Generation 2. Some of these probably aren't going to be achieved in Gen 2, but it would certainly be nice to see what they are for the future of VR. Obviously, we definitely need full dive VR, VR where we're not even, present in the moment anymore, all those things. Yeah, we're never going to get that. And even if we did get that, again, I don't think I'd trust any of these companies with something like that. But these are actually realistic things that could happen in the next 5 to 10 years with virtual reality. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into this list. Make sure you guys drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and definitely leave in the comment section which you guys think is going to push VR to the next generation. Let's hop on into it. So the first thing for me that I think is very achievable in the next generation of headsets is a wider field of view. This is like something that I definitely think needs to be addressed. I've been playing VR now since 2016. I'm still fine with the field of view that is available, but if I was able to put my headset on and pretty much not see the black edges, I think that would increase immersion like tenfold. So a wider field of view is definitely something that needs to come in these headsets. I know that some of them are slowly expanding their field of view, even to like where the Valve Index is at. But like I'm talking like beyond that, and I don't have $10 million to drop on a Pimax system. And if anybody wants to donate me one, or wants to donate me $10,000, please, yeah, I'd love that. But
oh yeah, it's all coming together.
That's probably not the case, and if that's the case, then I'm not going to be buying a Pimax headset. Plus, it's not really that user-friendly when it comes to what we currently have available in VR. Steam VR integration plus the Oculus. Unfortunately, Oculus does control most of the market right now, so hopefully Oculus's next Quest Pro headset, which was kind of leaked with some stuff, maybe we'll have a wider field of view. I would really like that. I think a lot of people would, and I think that that's something everyone's really looking forward to, is having beyond 120 degree field of view. I mean, even 150, 175. I'd really like to see them go beyond that, but I know that the hardware specifications are what they are, and they have to keep the cost and the price down. So I get it, but we need a wider field of view sometime really soon. So with the next thing on this list, this one's a little less of a priority for me, just because I don't play a lot of games that this would play a factor into, but facial tracking as a whole. Now, I say facial tracking as in like facial expressions, eye tracking, the whole nine. All that stuff I roped into just facial tracking in general. I think that this definitely would add to the immersion in virtual reality. For me, it's not a huge ticket item just because I don't play games like VR Chat all that often, and it's not something that is a high priority for me. Yeah, it'd be cool in games like Onward or something whenever you're looking at one of your teammates and you could tell their facial expressions, but I mean, I still think we're a long ways off from games integrating that as something. I mean, we're still struggling right now to get full virtual reality games where, we have a couple gems here and there, but a lot of them are early access titles. So I don't think that a lot of games are going to implement full facial tracking. Really, this is more for the social VR type of experiences right now, which is something I don't hang out in too often. It's just not my thing. So, and if it is your thing, that's great. And I'm sure facial tracking is going to make a big difference for you in that area. But that's that. And lucky the thing is the Quest Pro had some leaks come out recently, and it appears that they are going to be doing facial tracking with eye tracking and facial expression tracking, which is still going to be a pretty cool VR feature. So definitely something I think is going to be in the next gen headsets and it's going to push VR forward. Okay, so with our third pick here, this is something that I do think needs to happen sooner than later and is definitely a big ticket item for me, and this is more interaction in VR games. If you've ever played like a true built from the ground up VR game, it's like sometimes there is...
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
If you've ever played. I'm sure all of you have played because, you're all watching my channel, so that's kind of a silly thing to say. But Anyways, some VR games have more interaction than others, and the games that really have a lot of interaction with them, physics interaction. I mean, just look at Half-Life Alyx, for example. You can really feel like you're part of that world, where sometimes you play other games and it just doesn't feel quite as strong. And it's like, you have games, certain games where like you go to pick up an object and like your hand disappears and you just have the object floating there. Like that to me is like very 2016, 17 VR. We can't have that anymore. And we need, it doesn't have to be physics based. I mean, I just played Everslot VR not that long ago, and that wasn't a physics based game, and it did a pretty good job of not being physics based and still being fun. But physics is definitely something that I think the future of VR needs to continue with, because it's definitely an important feature. And just more interactability in general. Like whenever there's a lever and something, I'd like to be able to pull it. Whenever there's something, just being able to toss open stuff. I mean, you look at the Vertigo 2 trailer, which is on the screen right now. This is the stuff, like that game looks incredibly interactable, and just like, you're going to feel very like you're actually part of that world rather than just playing in a version of that world on a game screen. So definitely more interaction in games is going to push VR, just the VR space in general, forward to the next gen. And I'm looking forward to that. And I think the biggest limitation we have on that right now is really the systems that we're using. And we're going to talk a little bit about that with our next pick. So with our next pick that we just talked about a little bit, the systems at use. How do we get over the fact that VR will never really be able to, I shouldn't say never, I'm sure the technology will eventually be good enough, but for right now in the foreseeable future, we're not going to be able to get games like Half-Life Alyx on the regular because the Quest 2 just can't handle it. Standalone VR in general just can't handle that kind of output on a video game where a PC VR can. And this is why I am part of the PC VR master race, even though I do see the utilization of the Quest for all things good in VR. But how do we solve this? Cloud computing. That's how it's solved. It's solved by cloud computing. It's something that is next gen and just in general whenever it comes to, computers and technology as it is. But I think that as we go forward, being able to utilize a complete gaming PC of the highest caliber over the cloud and just connect it to your headset, that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that continues to go. And I think that's, if we can get to that point, and this is probably a couple years, if not, more out from that, but we get to a point where we could strap on a standalone headset and it's able to tap into a cloud computer that has the hands down best graphics card, has the hands down best specs, and we could play the best games at the highest quality. These are the things that are going to push virtual reality forward, and then you combine that with a wider field of view and facial tracking, and it's going to feel like you're actually there because you're not going to have the stutters, you're not going to have, graphical problems in games. It's just going to be smooth as butter, and that's definitely something that's going to push VR forward. And finally, this is something that I think would be pretty cool. It's not something, in my opinion, that is super, super necessary. I just think that it would add to the immersion and really get you next-gen level involved, and that is full body tracking. I know there is somewhat full body tracking that is available through certain applications, certain games, certain technologies. That's all well and good, but it would be nice to just, even if I'm not, using my full body to move around in a game where I'm still using my sticks on the controllers to move, but like if I wanted to just stand there and I wanted to, kick at somebody, if it would register that, or if I was moving my legs a certain way that I'd be able to see that, it would just, I think it would add that level of immersion. And then if you, again, the biggest thing for me is the wider field of view. If you added the wider field of view and it was like, I could kind of see in my peripheral vision my body down there, and if it was tracking while I was moving, if I was doing something, if I stepped a certain way in my game room and I did it in the game world, it would just give that extra sense of immersion that would be really, really crazy. So that is another thing that I think would definitely push VR forward. I think we're a little ways off before that is implemented into anything in a serious way, but definitely something nonetheless that would push VR to the next generation. Well, guys, that is it for this video. I really want to know what you guys think about really what is the things that you think are going to push VR to the next generation. What's something that you're really looking forward to? And yes, of course, we could talk full dive VR. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we had that at some point, where you could strap on a headset and you're pretty much transported into another whole world through your mind. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not so quite sure how close we are to that. Plus, I'm not so quite sure I would trust any tech company to allow me to go under in a full dive VR right now. So that being said, especially with Facebook, I would never trust Facebook ever with something like that. But nonetheless, Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.